Blindness Unlimited with Brandon Keith Biggs, hosted by Sonja Biggs, TVI O&M, from Sonja Biggs Educational Services. Today's episode is audio games that provide unlimited access to the gaming world for those who are blind and visually impaired. And here's Brandon.
Lunchroom barricade. Leaving lunchroom. Situation critical. You will be kicked exit the game. Goodbye.
Alrighty, so what you just saw was a brief excerpt of me being terrible at an audio game. Audio games basically are games that use audio. So when you are playing them, you generally have your headphones in. That's why I have my headphones in. I just had it unplugged so that you could hear the sound effects. And they have 3D audio, so it goes around your headphones, so you can actually see what's going on with your ears. You don't have to see with your eyes. That one did have graphics, basic graphics, but not all of them do. Audio games can be played using computer or joystick, it doesn't really matter. And there's all different types of genres. There's first-person shooters, which are what I was just playing, where you run around as a person and you see things with your ears. There's side-scrollers, where you are the character and you walk along the floor and see things that are coming up from your right and left. And those are like Mario games, I think, were side-scrollers. And there's real-time strategy games, which are, you have like a bunch of creatures that you manage as a general, and you manage resources. There are MUDs, multi-user dungeons or multi-user domains, and those are text-based games that are fantasy, and they can be just about anything, actually. You can have space MUDs, you can have real-life, simulation MUDs, you can have chat room MUDs, and those are text-based worlds. And then you have text-based RPGs or interactive fiction, which are kind of like MUDs, but they are not multiplayer, and they have a little more text-based stuff than MUDs do. So those are the basic types of games, and audio games can be downloaded from a lot of different places online. Some of the big companies are GMA Games, and there's a couple of big developers like USA Games and stuff like that. But there's some also big developers like there's a guy named Aprone. His name is called Obsti something, but he has a website where you can download a whole bunch of games that he's made. But really, the biggest place where you can get audio games is from this website. And it's really hard to find. It's called audiogames.net. So I'm at audiogames.net, and actually, so I click on the link here, and it's loading. There we go. So we've got audiogames.net. It has a combo box here. There are
1000 AD, 15 numbers, 1000 AD, 23 bricks, 3D state.
There are tons of games. I think there's about 390 games altogether, and we're just getting through the A's here. They have all the way to Z. And this is actually a whole entire community of people that play audio games, and you can see there's a forum here, and there's a forum for discussing general game topics, and there's a forum for talking about new releases. And you can see all the new releases that are going on. Shadowrun, 2D platform, Town of Peril, Swamp, which is the game I was playing, Macintosh Attack 2. So these are all different types of games that are currently new releases in the community. And a lot of them are put on that archive with that combo box that I was showing earlier. And you just download the game a lot of times, or the server, and then you can play it. I've got my own little folder here with all my games. So I got a bunch of different games. Some of the major games are Entombed, Swamp, Shades of Doom, VIP Mud is the client for MUDs, and Winfrots, I think, is the one for interactive fiction, and then people also use the command prompt for interactive fiction. But that is basically what an audio game is. It's a game that blind people can play, or anybody can play that doesn't want to use their screen, and or doesn't like the typical gaming types that people use. And you can get audio games from audiogames.net, and I think that's pretty much it when it comes to audio games. Thanks.
All right, thank you for tuning in to Blindness Unlimited with Brandon Keith Biggs, hosted by Sonja Biggs Educational Services, www.sonjabiggs.net.